while of course I'm excited for the opportunity, for the case that will be heard tomorrow, truthfully, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off that we've reached a point where we seemingly have an entire political party who has diminished and erased our rights as women. That's exactly what this is. Don't let them frame it any other way. They love to hide behind words like compassion and empathy and inclusion. Let me be very, very clear. What me and what my teammates faced, it was not inclusive. It was exclusive, because we as women were excluded from participating, from competing, from calling ourselves champions, because we were sent the message, and there's lots of fingers to point. I mentioned the Democratic Party. You could point a finger at many different institutions, the NCAA being one of them. We were told loud and clear that our rights to safety, our rights to privacy in areas of undressing, our rights to equal opportunity, they didn't matter. They certainly didn't matter as much as the boy's feelings, the man's feelings, his happiness. We were told that mattered more than our rights. I'm not going to spend any time explaining my story. I think by now it's well documented. When I first used my voice, though, back in 2022, I felt alone. I really did. There were very few, at least my understanding at the time, who were willing to put their name and their face to such a controversial issue, to say the controversial thing that there are two sexes and that you can't change your sex and that each sex is deserving of equal opportunity, of privacy, and of safety. Now I understand, though, that I really wasn't alone. There were people, women, fighting far longer than I had been, even now at this time. So thank you to the AGs who are here. I've sat in many different legislative bodies and heard from the other side of the aisle. And again, I hate to make it partisan, because in reality, it's not a partisan issue, but in terms of elected representation, and certainly how legacy media, mainstream media, portrays these issues, you would think it's very polarized. It's not. But I've sat in legislative bodies where we've heard Democratic elected officials who say, look, this is just a solution in search of a problem. You know, we're just talking about middle school girls basketball. It doesn't really matter that much. Sports aren't really about winning, they're about happiness. That's what I've heard. Thank you guys for being willing to push back on that and to defend the rights of myself, my teammates, and girls across the country. Understand tomorrow, the cases that are being heard, it's not to determine if states must pass some sort of fairness in women's sports law. It's to determine if they even can